그런데 노벨상 전체 수상자 중 유대인 비율은 정말 놀라울 따름입니다. 그럼 유대인들은 가정에서 어떻게 질문하고 토론할까요? 한국인 아버지와 유대인 어머니 사이에서 태어난 네이슨은 유대인 가정교육을 받고 자라고 있습니다.
I've been representing that pretty well today. Like, I think that our theories and how we've been raising Natan reflect the typical Jewish style. We encourage questions, we encourage debate.
It's the practice of just having debate. Did you guys hear about the big fires in Am?
It has like, it makes like the third of amount of our oxygen or whatever.
Yeah, it's 20% of the oxygen that we breathe comes from the Amazon, so it is a big deal.
How much of it is like being burnt down?
Oh, I don't know, but it's apparently massive, and you can see it from the satellite. Like you can see big fires and smokes.
Wow. We should talk to the president first about it. Like, that's probably already going on right now.
And what would you say?
Well,
And that's the hard part.
I'd like to hear what Natan would say.
Yeah.
if it all goes, then the world is going to be endangered, basically. All species, including us. And so if we don't act now, then it's going to ruin all of history later.
Okay, so I'm going to be the president. Oh. So, my scientists, the scientists that I hired, told me that this whole climate change stuff that you guys are referring to doesn't exist. That it just is a cyclic thing that happens in the course of, you know, the universe moving forward. So, what would you say to that?
Well, what would I say to that? Well, first of all, where did he get those scientists? And why then is all the climate right now going crazy? Like, suddenly it was 105 a few days ago, and then maybe a few days it's gonna be back to like 60.
Yeah.
And then some places it's snowing.
So you're showing evidence of the fact that things aren't actually.
Go back in history. This didn't happen.
Yeah, right. Good. I like that.
You know, just because it's happening in Brazil doesn't mean that it's Brazil's problem.
Yeah.
It's everybody's problem.
Well, is that like written down anywhere that if there's anything affecting anyone else that you're allowed to interfere with it?
And we are members of some of those treaties and organizations, yet our current government doesn't appreciate
Honor
it.
those.
Yeah.
Honor
And
those.
so, but that's a great question. I think we should.
Okay,
Set the
let's set the table.
Well, we believe in asking questions to encourage creativity, and we take every opportunity to probe, to ask questions, to help them think deeper, make it an open-ended question. Not, you should think this way, but what do you think about that?
And it's not just about us asking questions. We encourage the child to ask questions. But, you know, through that struggle, I think you learn so much. So I think that's what we're trying to do with them.
가정에서 창의력을 키우는 질문 대화는 어떻게 할까요?
What do you think? What did you say? Teenagers will be
Crazy.
crazy. Why?
What does that mean, though? Think broadly, though. So, how do you think we solve big problems in the world?
Well, then computers are going to be able to code themselves by then.
What can coding solve?
Basically, that is kind of like what we do in school sometimes, where they ask us to ask questions about like a text they give us. So sometimes in it's a class called Jewish Studies, we have like a big board that would just full of questions. And then so sometimes after classes, people go and they answer them. They don't even have to be logical, just having to think about it. That like, it stretches your mind and it makes you think outside the box. So having more of an open question than just a one answer question.